When star players retire in sport, it's always a big story. We saw this with Lance Franklin, Jack Riewoldt and Trent Cotchin all hanging up the boots at the end of 2023. But when players at the peak of their powers suddenly retire, the story magnifies. Michael Jordan is the most well-known megastar to retire when he stopped playing in the NBA in 1993. Although as we know, he returned within a year and a half, winning 3 more rings. It's a rare sight in the AFL that a star finishes up early that's not due to concussion or injury. So here are a few players in recent times that retired early. So what happened to them and where are they now? Cyril Rioli is the best small forward of his generation and maybe the greatest of all time. 4 premierships, a 2015 Norm Smith medal and 3 All-Australians is an impressive record. All this was achieved before Rioli had even turned 29, as he retired from football in early 2018 at just 28. After a career best 47 goals, in 2016 Rioli hurt his PCL the following year, playing only 7 games. His 2018 pre-season was also interrupted as he returned home to visit his ill father, and then in round 4 in the same year against Melbourne, he hurt his knee again. At the time, he told teammates he gave the game away due to a lack of fire and desire to play at the AFL level. But we now know a large reason Rioli retired so early was due to a range of racially offensive incidents at the Hawthorn Football Club that resulted in Rioli and his wife being one of the families involved in the Hawthorn Racism Report. According to Rioli, the incidents built over time, heavily affecting himself and his wife, eventually playing a key part in giving away the sport. Not many had the talent to play football like Rioli, and there is no doubt if he came back during 2018 or the next year, he would have created more highlights on the field for everyone to enjoy. Nathan Ablett had reached the pinnacle of football in just his 3rd season at Geelong. Taken at pick 49 as a father-son like his brother, he was the full forward for Geelong during their 2007 premiership success. He kicked 34 goals in 23 games, including 3 in the grand final demolition. It was the true definition of a breakout season, and it looked like he and his brother could become a 1-2 punch for the next decade. But just a month after the grand final win, Ablett already began contemplating his future in the AFL. The club gave him until 2008 to decide, and in January he made the decision to walk away for at least a season. He returned to training in the middle of the year, expecting to play VFL before an ankle injury halted his return, and by the end of the season he ultimately finished up wanting to become a tradesman. However, he did return in 2011 to join his brother up at the Gold Coast Suns, playing a couple of games before being delisted at the end of the year. His most recent sighting was playing a game for Balranald in the Central Murray League. At around 196 centimetres and 95 kilograms, Nathan Ablett could have been a key forward great for Geelong. He had the talent like his older brother, but the professional habits and 24/7 nature of the AFL isn't for everyone, and that includes talents like Nathan Ablett. Liam Jurrah was taken 1st overall in the 2009 pre-season draft. He made his debut in round 12 against Essendon and went on to play 9 games in the 2009 season. On 3 occasions that year, he kicked 4 goals, all in Melbourne victories. The following year, he played only 8 games due to a shoulder dislocation just before the start of the season, but his 3rd year gave him the full run to show his potential. In the 2011 campaign, Jurrah played 18 games, kicking 40 goals and 26 behinds, kicking multiple goals on 13 occasions. He was only 23 years old and was becoming a key member of the Demons forward line. But off-field issues ended up finishing his career. In March the next year, Jurrah was charged over a machete attack but was found not guilty. At the end of 2012, after playing 1 game, Jurrah was suddenly delisted, and sadly, the following 2 years led to more run-ins with police. In 2022, Jurrah was again arrested for a house break-in. It's a bad end to what was a great story. 81 goals in just 36 games is a 2.25 goals per game average. For context, that is a greater average than Charlie Cameron, Toby Green and Charlie Curnow. It's proof of the talent Jurrah had, and his 2010 Mark of the Year shows how box office Jurrah was during his playing days. It was a huge story when the number 1 pick in the 2014 draft, Tom Boyd, was traded in a swap with Bulldog captain Ryan Griffin and pick 6. He signed a mega 7-year, $7 million deal with the Western Bulldogs after playing just 9 games in his first year. He played 14 games in his first season at the Dogs before being dropped to the VFL for the rest of 2015. The pressure was mounting on the young star to live up to the mega contract he was on. The frustration continued on in 2016 when a positive start to the season was disrupted in round 4 due to a shoulder injury. It didn't help that his return was further pushed back due to a drunken altercation with teammate Zane Cordy, resulting in Boyd playing in the VFL again. But he returned in round 17 and didn't miss a game for the rest of the year. During the Bulldogs' magical run, Boyd didn't kick a goal in the first 3 finals, but Boyd played the best game of his career by far against Sydney in the grand final, taking 6 big contested marks, kicking 3 goals and being the physical presence in the forward half. On another day, he could have won the Norm Smith medal, but his outstanding performance was acknowledged widely after the game. It seemed as if he had broken out and was ready to become a force. The following year stalled though. He had back and calf issues and eventually took leave from the club to try to deal with the clinical depression he has talked openly about post his career. The injuries continued to come and Boyd rarely featured in 2018 before giving the game away the next year. The anxiety of having to perform and the pressure of the big deal eventually overtook Boyd and was the main reason he had to retire. The enjoyment of the game was sucked away, and at just 23, it was the end of a career that looked like it was about to blossom. At 28, Boyd is a mental health advocate and keynote speaker. He also recently released a book detailing his experiences during his AFL career, both the good and the bad.